Hey guys, today's tutorial is on tracing. I love to show you different ways to trace. Both of these images, I have two of them here. I just made a duplicate of this one, but both of these images are from Google. They're JPEG, and you know that because of the white background. And I'm going to show you how to take it apart and mess around with it. I know I did a video previous with a butterfly on how to take these images apart. But you can have so much fun with taking images apart, so I'm going to do another video here. Of course, I made a copy. Sometimes I forget to make my duplicates. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with this one, and I'm going to select a trace. Of course, make a duplicate before you even trace it, because once you trace it, it takes the background out, so definitely make a duplicate. And you always want to make a duplicate if you're not sure. So I'm going to take this threshold up. Maybe you can just keep messing around looking at your image until where you want it. I think this looks pretty good. And then I'm going to take my scale down just a little bit just to clean the lines up. And let me move this over, make sure I get that part. Okay. And you see the little fuzzy stuff in there? That means I'm going to take this threshold down just a little bit. You see how it's moving away? Okay, I think that's good right there. I'm going to hit trace. I'm going to move my white background. And I'm going to, I don't know, you can make it whatever color you want. Okay, now as far as this one goes, we're going to also trace this one. So I'm going to select trace. And just take it up to, and the reason why we have to do it this way is because you want to fill in your background here. And that's why you have to make a second one. I'm going to take my scale down a little bit. I think I'll bring it up a little bit. Here, oh, no, you see how scruffy looking, and I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to remove that background, and again, you know what I should have did was made a third copy so you can see what it looks like, but I kind of know, so we don't have to do that right now because I remember what the color looks like. Okay. But you can make a third copy so you can have it sitting here so you can have an idea of how you want to place, you know, the images. So we're going to start here with, well, first we're going to click on the image, right click, release compound path. That takes away all the pieces, depending on how many pieces are in the image. It makes them all separate pieces. So this I know is a white, and this I know is a white. I'm going to click, hold my shift down, click on each one. I will group that, and I'm going to go into my color panel. I'm going to make that white. Let me move it off of here so you can see it. And I'm going to do the outline white, and that is going to go right there. And then I'm going to go here, which is, oops, not that one, but this here is the outside of his, oh, you know what I missed? His eyes. The eyes, I'm going to zoom in. Maybe I should have left this other one on here so you can see. But this is the eyes. I'm going to hold my shift key down and click on the other eye. I will group that. Zoom out. I'm going to make that white. White. I'm going to do the outline white. And we're going to put this in there. Okay. Now this piece was green. Now let me show you something. I would have done it with the copy I had, but I got rid of, all right, I didn't make a third copy, but you would have to make a third copy because I'm going to trace this color, which is the color of his face. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to go, I'm going to click on this, go over to my trace panel. I'm going to use the dropper and I'm going to trace by color. So I want to trace this green right there. One second. No. Hold on here. Hold on here. Take this out. No, stay over there. I'm going to click on this image. Excuse me. I'm going to go to my trace panel. I'm sorry, guys. Let me go back here. It's not the trace panel. It's the color panel. And I want to use this color here. I want this face to be this color. So I'm going to click on my color dropper. And I'm going to just put my color dropper on top of that. And it makes it that color. And I want to do the outline the same way. Once you make it that color, it goes up to your recently used things. I'm going to right click, send to the back, and that's going to be the color of his face. And so now we want to do the hat. Now this is where I think I needed the other image because I'm going to need a copy of his hat. Okay, we're going to make his background black. Outline black, and I'm going to have to bring in the image that I did not make a copy of because I thought I can get around it. So let me bring it back in and let me show you why, because I got to do trace the hat that I didn't do. Okay, I'm not going to need this. I mean, I can do this. I mean, this was black, I think. So if you want to stick that in there, you can stick that in there as well. I think it was over here somewhere by the hat. Okay, so I don't need any of this. I don't need that. I do need the hat. So I'm going to trace this hat. And I'm going to go to trace. I'm going to trace by color. So trace by color because I only need the red. Okay, and then you're going to bring the tolerance up, which is the same thing as the threshold in the tracing panel. And I think that looks good. Yeah, I think that looks good, right? Okay, let's hit trace. Oops. Let's click on the hat. Make it red. And put it on here. There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. So you can, like I said, you can mess around with it. Say if you want this hat to be green. Let's go into our color panel and maybe make it green. Now, mind you, you can bring it any color. If you have the advanced options, which I don't remember if it's the business edition or not, you can always, make any color. I don't want it to be black. So just say if I want it to be green. Okay. So my green, let me do, and it automatically goes into your recently used when you do that. And then maybe you can make the hat, I don't know, red. And then you can just kind of, well, maybe the hat don't want to be green because it matches his face. So maybe we want the hat to be a different color. And of course you can mess around. You have fill panels. Like if you want to do a pattern, you can go in here and you can pull your own patterns in, or you can just print on a pattern when you cut it out. And that's really it. That's really it. So let's just do one more. Okay. We're going to remove this here. I'm just going to move it to the side so we can recap at the end. This is the same thing. We are going to, again, make copy, which sometimes I forget to do, but always remember, you can make a copy, duplicate, same thing. So pull this over here. I'm going to go over to my trace panel, select trace area, highlight. Let me bring my threshold over just a little bit. Go up a little more. I think that looks okay. I'm going to bring my scale down to make the lines a little bit cleaner. You know, I could have done them at the same time, traced them at the same time, but I'm going to go ahead and trace that. Click on my white, delete it. So again, I'm going to go to my trace by color panel, click on my red, and because I want both red trace, I'm going to click trace all area. So it's going to trace everything that's in this picture that's red. Okay. I'm going to bring my tolerance level up to get it like a nice clean. I think that's good enough. Let's hit trace. And then here you have your red. So we can go ahead and make it red. All right. I'm going to make the background black. Black. Okay. So I'm going to trace the green here. So I'm going to trace just the green. And I'm going to do all areas, although it's just a hand. But I'm going to fill this in. Okay. I think that looks good enough. Let's trace that. And let's make that green. Or I could have just traced his face again, but this is good enough. So, and now I'm not going to trace by color the white because, so I'm going to have to just trace this outright, because if I trace it by white, it's going to get, you know what, maybe I could just trace the piece. Hold on, and not do the area. So trace by color. Go in here. Okay, so yes, okay. We're just not going to do the all areas like we usually do. We're going to do the single area because I only want that one trace. And let's take up the tolerance some, get a nice clean, and hit trace. Click on the white. And ta-da! There you have it. That's it. And you can mess around with the colors here. Go to the color panel, and again, you can make this whatever color you want to make it. I mean, if you want to change it, and you can always upload your own patterns in either one of these if you're going to be using patterns. So that's it. So let's just do a recap. Whenever you always pull your images, when you pull your images off of Google, make sure you get the biggest files, the largest images. Always make a duplicate, sometime 2 or 3, depending on how many you're going to have to take apart. And then you're going to trace, and then you can trace by color. So from the original one, you're just tracing it, the whole image. And then your second, your duplicate one, you're going to trace by color and take each piece out and then add it and just put it together like a piece of puzzle. So of course, whenever you're printing this, I'm just moving this, but whenever you're printing this, if, well, let's go back to red, you know, unless, like I said, unless you're using a pattern or whatever you're using. So of course, when of course, you're going to reverse it if you're using heat transfer vinyl. So you're going to cut your green first, then you're going to cut your red second, and then your black, and then whatever color this is. And of course, when you print it out, you'll have your picture to see how to put it back together here, and you're just going to layer it. And you're just going to layer it. And that's it. Now let me also tell you, if you don't like layering, or you don't like the way layering feels, now this is just a side note here, and then we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to hit duplicate this. Now this is the one that I took apart and pieced together. So let me tell you, if you don't like to layer, because you maybe feel, depends on what you're using, it might be something thick, you can do a subtract all and move out all these pieces, so now they are not laying on top of each other. So let me show you how to do that quickly. So let's highlight all of this, go up to Object, Modify, and Subtract All. Okay, you don't see anything now. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. You don't see anything now, but if I group this and move this out the way, oops, no, I didn't want to group all of them. Okay, here. Now you see there's nothing, you're not going to have the back, like all of these pieces you can have cut out. You can have all of those pieces, it won't be filled in like this. So if you were to pull this one out here, if you did the subtract all, you will be weeding all this out. So therefore, it's not going to be laying like this. It would be laying on top of, you would have it laying on top of the black vinyl. Well, this, it's not going to be anything in between there because you're going to weed all of this out. So it's not sitting on top of another color. It's just going in between the colors, and that's all. And that's the difference. So you can do a subtract all. To me, I personally like layering it. It looks a lot better to me. But you don't have to layer it. You can do a subtract all and then just lay it into the slots. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, please leave your comments below. And in 2022, I will be doing a lot more videos on how-tos. So if you have any questions, something you want to see, please let me know. Have an amazing day.